Previously on Criminal Minds.
All right, if you guys are watching this, you should know this is everybody but Jonathan Esther. You're welcome. Okay. So, what the first topic we wanted to talk about is this Charleston shooting, and I mean, what was it? It ends up being 9 people dead, right? 1 died afterwards.
Yep.
What the fuck was this goofball's name? Dylan Rook. What the fuck kind of name is Dylan? Have you guys ever heard of a fucking Dylan before?
Dylan. That's all I can remember. You know the guy from P. Diddy's little fucking making of a band?
Yeah, the guy who's spitting hot fire.
I rhyme, I rap, and I rip. That guy?
Maybe that's why this guy was so. He has a black name now. Maybe that's why he's so pissed off. You know what I'm saying? Going to get fucking payback or some shit. I don't know. It's a fucking terrible tragedy, you know? And I do think some people, which I've seen on my Facebook now, are kind of trying to brush this off as, hold on, let me read this picture message. Where the fuck did it go? Hold on, I remember who posted it. Whenever I'm looking for something, right here, something relevant to your life just happened, and now I'm going to blow it out of proportion for days to keep you distracted from what's really going on. You know what? I mean, I don't think this is a distraction. If it is, it's a really good one, because this is what's really going on. This is a huge problem in the United States, and it doesn't show any sign of getting better. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Jonathan Esther. I think we're going to be going downhill for probably the next decade because people are not wanting to admit that this is a problem. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, do you guys think that this is some irrelevant fucking thing that people shouldn't really be worried about? I mean, is it fear-mongering or any of these other fucking adjectives that people throw around?
Man, I'll tell you. I don't even know where to begin, man. I don't think it's something we should just brush off. I think it's tragedy. I think that you're absolutely right. This is the beginning of it's a continuation of the bullshit we've been dealing with, but I think this is a bigger black eye than we've had in the recent past. So, I don't know.
Something that can't be denied with this one is there is definitely a racial motivation, and it was a a lot of the other ones where even reasonable people could see a doubt. You know what I mean? Like, this wasn't a racist incident. It's just a tragedy, or freaking something went wrong, or blah blah blah. This one, I mean, it's hard to fucking look any other way to it, you know?
Right.
Other than how it is. I mean, Mr. Chemical, you're the one closest to this shit. How are you guys feeling down there in the South?
Same way they always feel. No, that they want to go kill some white people. They're just being honest, you know, like because here's the problem with social media. It takes it so overboard to where you have these goofballs that push the send button and don't realize what they're doing. So when people say things like, "Hey, you know, it's not that big of a deal," you know, they just have to deal with it. Why do they have to deal with it? What if a black person goes into a white church and shoots it up? Does that make it better? This is all messed up. So at the end of the day, people really need to. I'm not gonna lie to you. They need to have a law. Not Obamacare. Let's take Obamacare away. Let's have a law called social media awareness. And if you're an idiot that posts any of this crap up there that you don't know what you're talking about, you really need to get punched in your face or shot in your face. Not arrested. You need to get shot in your face. Period. Because people don't realize the power of words. I think there was a saying when we were younger: "Sticks and stones break my bones. Words never hurt me." That's BS. Words hurt more than any of that other stuff. So when you have people that don't know what they're talking about, saying things like, "Well, that's not a big deal," they're idiots. Plain and simple. I'm not mad about it. I was raised in Louisiana. I know what racism is like. It's deep racism. Unfortunately, I'm immune to it now because it's happened so much. But I mean, these fools that are on social media really need to stop because they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. And it's getting pretty fucking ridiculous. Like, I mean, I keep seeing it, and here's the funny part about how I keep seeing this represented is, so far I've had people talk about Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, kind of like along the lines of what Obama said, how often are we going to fucking see this and do nothing, you know? But I haven't heard anybody, and really anybody in politics really call for, hey, we need gun control. But I have seen over and over again people fucking using this as a rallying cry for the opposite, you know? Like, I don't know if you guys heard, I put it in the blog post I wrote, but one of the NRA board members talked about, well, it's the pastor's fault that this happened because he voted against extending concealed weapon permits, like allowing them into public places like churches and, you know, parks and shit like that. You know, can you imagine that being said about anybody else? Like somebody died in fucking the World Trade Center. Well, it was kind of this guy's fault because he didn't allow, you know, XYZ freedoms to be taken away. So he kind of deserved it. What the fuck? And really, when I heard that shit, I've been thinking because I'm a member of the NRA. I'm a lifetime member. I've been thinking for a while about canceling my memberships. One of the biggest reasons because I keep getting emails from these guys of them begging for money. If you think fucking religious groups beg for money, you need to sign up for the NRA mailing list because they are begging every fucking day. Okay? I finally just forward them to spam, and I go into my spam, and it's just nothing but fucking NRA begging for money, okay? Number two, when they pulled the NRA membership, we said, hey, yeah, of course we're against gun control, but when you're talking about extending background checks and shit like that, making it harder to get gun permits, we were totally fine with that. Yeah, we want good people to have guns, but let's make sure that it's good people that have guns. The majority of NRA members asked for that to happen. And then NRA went to the Senate floor and said, we are going to fight against any measure of increasing, you know, restrictions on gun permits. So they're not even representing their membership anymore. And then for this shit, a board member coming out blaming one of the victims for him getting fucking killed, an old man getting fucking shot to death in a church. I mean, I'm pretty much done with the shit now. I've been kind of working my way away from them now. Now I don't even want my name associated with that group. It's getting more and more disgusting as time goes on. And I ran to get a fucking NRA membership pretty much when I became of age. You know, I thought about it since I was a kid. Yeah, I totally wanted to be a member of the NRA. Blah, blah, blah. That's totally a cool thing. Now, looking at it, seeing what the fuck they're doing, not the members, but the actual group is doing, I'm getting disgusted by it. So, I don't know, man. I mean, this is just getting... I'm seeing way more people saying stupid shit.
Hello, how are you today?
That are like Second Amendment supporters, which I am. I got guns in the house. I got a gun in the fucking mail. Fuck you again, Puppet Master. And I mean, I'm just wearing me out, man. Like, it's been a total embarrassment for me to see all these fucking posts, pretty much doing everything that they accused Obama of during the fucking that elementary school shooting. He's just using this as an excuse to take gun rights, you know. Now everybody's just ignoring these 9 people that are dying and using it as a rallying call for why we need to let everybody and their mother have fucking guns. I'm tired of shit, you know?
Fair enough.
Well,
You know,
go ahead, Charlie.
look, man, I love my gun. I do. I don't think everyone should have guns. I think every law-abiding citizen should be allotted the opportunity proper way. And yeah, there's going to be 10% that suck. Unfortunately, that 10% usually is the 10% that's going to cause the most damage. But you take guns away from law-abiding citizens.
Damn, look at that ass.
And there's no way to stop criminals from getting those guns. It's just not going to happen. So, I mean, I understand. Trust me, I'm not happy about this. I'm livid. I mean, if I could execute this guy myself, I probably would.
My argument with that is kind of along the lines of like the U.S. does a lot of shit where they like make up these theories, pretending like the U.S. is the only country in the world. Okay, like universal health care. According to like, what did fucking Rand Paul say? Like, if universal health care is out, or this is you enslaving me, or something like that. There's many countries with universal health care, and none of their fucking physicians ended up enslaved. Okay, we need to quit with this bullshit where we're making up these theories of what's going to happen if we do this, when there's countries that have already done it.
Right. Well, the problem with that is that we don't have universal health care. We have universal insurance.
Yeah.
And those are two different things. If we had universal health insurance, that would be a whole different conversation. But we don't. I mean, just because you have insurance don't mean that fucking it's good. You know, there's limitations and high limitations at that. I mean, people's premiums and copays and deductibles are so high that they can't even afford to go to the doctor even though they're paying for insurance. So, I don't want to get away from the topic that we should be talking about, which is, and we've always, obviously there's always been this, well, I'm the white guy and I could possibly be the only racist on here, but it's far from the truth. And yes, I have said in the past in some situations had nothing to do with race, but this one absolutely did, and is absolutely wrong. And I don't even, like I said, I don't know where to go with this, man. I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired.
Yeah, it's one of those things that as I always we always joke on the show and shit like that, and it's just the fact that you have a lot of people, like I said, online just blaming the people at the church, or kind of try to spin it a different way as if you're right, like it's their fault, which I've never known it could be your fault to go to church and then fucking get shot at. I mean, if you can't go to church, the last place that everybody feels safe at, because let's be honest, a lot of people, as much as I talk about church and Christians and shit like that, people do feel safe at church, and if you can't go there without getting shot at and shit like that, it's just ridiculous. And the fact that everybody's trying to spin it like it's their fault or it's the pastor's fault, it's absolutely ridiculous. And you usually know what type of people works. It's unfortunate, really, for everybody, in this situation right now, especially the families having to go through this shit. So, definitely send my prayers to them.
I can wait.
I already did, man.
I mean, you're exactly right. It's sickening to think of how those people must have felt being in a place that you feel safe, you feel loved, you feel freaking, a strong camaraderie with everybody there, and somebody comes in there for the exact purpose to fucking kill and maim, And it's horrifying. I mean, the thing that I hate the most, and the biggest issue for me is South Carolina, for one, is always in the fucking spotlight for having issues with race or with gender or anything for almost the entire history of the fucking state. Like, actually, literally the entire history of the state. In order to get them to join, Thomas Jefferson wanted to write stuff about fucking slave rights and shit like that into the Constitution. He had to not write it to get South Carolina to join. That was one of the fucking, what do you call that, concessions he had to make to get the state to join. And then for, like, women's right to vote, South Carolina never approved women's right to vote. The federal government finally forced it on them, but they never even accepted the 19th Amendment until, like, 1969. That shit went out in 1919, okay? Like, cars had barely been invented before fucking South Carolina ratified it, and the Dodge Charger was on the road, or before the 19th Amendment came out, and Dodge Chargers were on the road when they fucking finally accepted that thing. That's how ridiculous this shit is, okay? Fucking Dukes of Hazzard's car came out along with that. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. And South Carolina keeps pretending like they don't have racial problems until you talk to anybody of non-white descent that lives there.
Well,
Really not to kill injectors.
Here's the thing too. What, somebody talking or?
But I could tell that station, you know.
Yeah, you're better off.
Oh, okay.
This bastard. There you go. Go ahead.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, it's one of those things too. I mean, it's not a big deal, but you know, this guy was actually fucking taken alive after killing 8 people, taken alive, and you know, kind of not, you know, being beat to fucking death by the police officers. It's just kind of weird too. Once again, not trying to spin it as a race thing, but you know, you always had to put yourself in their shoes. What if he was black and he shot up 8 people? What if he was black and he was just, you know, motherfucker, you know, they choked the guy out for selling cigarettes in New York. And I know it's just 2 different states and, you know, a group of different police officers who's running this shit, so you can't really say it. But, you know, a guy that kills 8 people, same thing with the guy who shot up the movie theater. Both of those guys was taken alive. And, you know, I'm pretty sure the media is going to try to spin it, or, you know, somebody's going to try to spin it some type of way. They have some type of mental issue and shit like that, you know. It's like the fact that he's Caucasian is showing that, you know, well, he might have some type of disability. This might be going on. We don't know all the facts. It you know, the way the media does that is very interesting. And the way the police does that is very interesting. Because if he's black, I'm pretty sure they would have whooped his ass, you know, taken him into custody. They wouldn't have, you know, probably might have killed him, to be quite honest with you. So, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point I was making on my thing is nobody, like, everybody's talking about, oh, he was just mentally ill, this and that. Don't blame it on guns because he had mental problems, blah blah. When, if the fucking suspect isn't black or isn't white, when do we ever give a shit? Did we ever even look into the mental state of the 9/11 hijackers? What about that kid who fucking posted on Facebook that he was gonna go kill some pigs or he's gonna put wings on pigs and shot those 2 cops? Did we ever give a shit about his mental state? Like, we never care about someone's mental state until they're white. That isn't it. And mind you, no licensed physicians or licensed fucking psychologists have come out and said, yeah, I fucking, you know, had this kid in therapy for so many years and he has mental problems. Nobody said that professionally. He might well have them, and I can't imagine, you know, killing 9 fucking people in the church, you're 100% mentally there, but it's never been a fucking problem, you know? It's never been a problem for us to call somebody a terrorist when they have mental issues. Now all of a sudden, when it's a white person, now it's a problem. Now, hold on, he was just crazy. It isn't because South Carolina has institutionalized racism and they protect these fucking white supremacy groups and this and that. It's none of those problems. He was just mentally ill. He had a problem. It doesn't fucking matter. We don't give a shit, and I don't give a shit in this case, you know?
See, I'm not.
Go ahead, man.
My fault. I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but I have a mental disease myself. It's called smack a bitch-itis. But I'm pretty sure if I go out and smack some bro, I'm gonna be put in handcuffs.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't see what the difference is between me having that mental thing and him having whatever is wrong with him because his daddy didn't buy him a remote control bicycle, whatever it is. You know, it just. I don't want to hear that one. If I hear that on this case, I'm going to flip. I'm not going to lie. I don't get political. Everybody knows that that's watched this show. But if I hear that from this, I'm going to flip.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's disgusting, you know? And it's just a continuation of problems. And, you know, something I wanted to show is, and something me and Jonathan Esther were talking about is the U.S. has a problem with freaking race relations and shit like that. And we like to pretend that we're the most advanced country in these things, and nobody else can. We're looking down like Saudi Arabia. We look down. They don't even let their women drive. Well, okay, you know, that's Saudi Arabia. They have fucking problems. Yeah, we totally understand that, you know. We talk about electing a woman as president, and people are fucking disgusted. Now, I do understand a lot of people are disgusted because it's Hillary, but if you just bring up a woman as president, you'll hear people just, oh, fuck no. You know, if we elected Bush, any woman could do the fucking job, okay? It apparently isn't that important to us if we'll elect a fucking retard to do it. So, I don't know. It just, and the reason why I think it's going to get worse is at least, well, this is, you know, obviously I wasn't alive for that, but at least during the Civil Rights Day, people were willing to admit, yeah, black people don't have all the same rights, but they shouldn't, you know. Now we can't even admit, hey, they don't have all the same rights. They're not given all the opportunities. They aren't fucking, you know, blah, blah, blah. We can't even admit that that exists, but we're still doing the same shit, you know.
Yeah.
By the way, Puppet Master, I muted you, so if you're talking, you need to unmute yourself, in case you didn't realize it. But, I don't know. That's why... Go ahead.
Look, man, I gotta stop before I go inside and talk about this. Look, man, my biggest thing here is this guy needs to be held responsible for his own individual actions. He's a racist, fucking punk bitch, and that's all there is to it. Any other reason than that, they're fucking full of shit. That's simple.
Yeah,
There's
I mean, I
out
would
there,
like
but
to know, though,
not
what
just
groups
go
was he
shoot up
part
a
of?
fucking church. That's ridiculous.
What groups was he part of? I doubt this guy came up on all this by himself.
He's not. Matter of fact, I'm so involved in this I can't even stop for gas because in California, fucking where I'm at, I gotta pay for gas before I fucking pump it. It's ridiculous.
Well, I think you do that here.
All right, back in the truck. Fuck this shit.
Go ahead, man.
Oh, man, I'm just. It's not it's not even the conversation that's old. Because the conversation shouldn't be old at this point because it's never been finished. We never actually have the conversation. That's the fucking problem here. Is we always find a reason or a way to avoid this conversation of fucking blatant racism in the United States. I mean, that is fucking horseshit. All right? It's the fact that it's still happening, and it's happening to this degree, and if this fucking kid did just this, walked in and shot fucking 9 black people who are probably the kindest souls he's ever met in his fucking life, and we don't want to call it racism? Are you fucking serious? It don't make any goddamn sense. And to ignore that, either you're a racist yourself, or you're just that goddamn stupid.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are racist and don't realize it. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen a lot of people who, if you ask them if they're a racist, they didn't like black, they would tell you no, and they wouldn't mean it. You know what I mean? You could probably hook them up to a fucking lie detector and they'd pass. But then you hear that you put her in a fucking elevator with a black guy and she's gonna be scared. there's a and I think that's a big problem. It's kind of like the U.S. has a problem with racism without having racist because people don't understand that they are. They don't understand when they don't hire that black guy because they think, I don't want that kind of look for my freaking business. That's racism, you know? And this happens a lot. And a lot of people kind of point at the issue like, well, it's black people's fault. Black people are killing black people, blah, blah, blah. Other countries don't have this fucking problem. Other advanced countries don't have this fucking problem. Matter of fact, I think I was looking and the crime rate in South Africa is less than the U.S. South Africa of all those places. If it's just black people being freaking black people and being criminals, why isn't South Africa having a fucking problem? Black people died less. I mean, medically, okay? Like, being a black woman in the U.S. is bad for your fucking health. Like, your life expectancy is way lower than it'll be in a lot of other countries in the U.S. Or not than the U.S., my bad. Like, in the U.K., in fucking, Germany, in fucking England, in fucking Sweden, France, all this shit, your life expectancy would shoot up by like 10, 15 years. So maybe there's a fucking problem here, you know? And again, I'm a big proponent. I love guns. I fucking have guns everywhere. Maybe we need to look at maybe there's a fucking problem with guns. Like, I hear all the, if you outlaw guns, then only outlaws will have guns. But there's countries who have done it and who gun crime has fallen through the fucking ground. Whose suicide by gun, or suicide period, falls to the ground with no raise in other fucking suicide methods. There was actually a talk when we took gas ovens out of houses and we started replacing them with electrical ones and stuff like that. The rate of suicide dropped because it wasn't easy to fucking kill yourself. People used to stick their head in a fucking oven to kill themselves. It was just a method to fucking kill yourself, quick, easy, painlessly, that was right there. We took those out of houses, changed them out with electric ones, the rate of suicide dropped permanently. Australia, when they had the big shooting, there was like 30 something, or it had a whole bunch of people. I think it was like 39 people killed or 59, something like that. They outlawed guns. I think shotguns, rifles, a whole bunch of fucking guns. Their gun crime dropped. Their gun suicide dropped. Never went up again. Now, is there still a black market in South Africa? Yeah, there is, but to go get one of those guns, an AR-15, which is about $1,000, $1,500 in U.S., costs $30,000 to buy off the black market in fucking Australia. If you have $30,000, you're probably not going to go shoot up a fucking church, okay? Not saying, I mean, this guy just used a pistol, I think, right? Didn't he just use a 45?
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm having a hard time believing all these theories that people spit out when we have other countries that have done it and have turned out just fucking fine. Okay, yeah, is the U.S. kind of a unique fucking country? Will it probably be different in a lot of ways? Probably, but all these theories just get blown out of the water when we see other countries. The U.S. and Australia are not vastly different. We have a whole shit ton more population, but you talk to your average Australian, there's the same type of people in fucking Australia that there is in the U.S. And they manage just fine. You know?
Yeah, you know, here's the thing. With the whole gun thing, gun control, taking guns away. Okay, so you got a president here who wants to take our guns away because for the safety of the nation. All right. However, a good, I'd say half. Half don't want that. The majority of the nation. Then you got the same president who is giving guns to Syrian rebels to fight a dictatorship that doesn't represent the population. I mean, you see where the contradiction is there with that? I mean, maybe I'm just, reaching a little.
No, I see your point, but I mean, I'm not one to defend Obama. I don't think he's a fucking hero or anything like that. But when you're arming people to fight a war rather than arming civilians, that's kind of two pretty separate things, Now, would I hate for fucking guns to be banned in the U.S.? I would fucking hate it, okay? But would it be worth it to me to not see this shit anymore? I think it would, and I really just want, instead of the fucking bullshit arguments, that we have people who are really able to sit down, fucking scientists, fucking statisticians, sit down and review, would this help the U.S.? Okay? I want the fucking thing to be honestly debated rather than stupid fucking bullshit all over the place. If they come up and say, no, banning guns would fucking be worse for everybody, or wouldn't help, then fuck it. I'll be happy personally if that's the answer. Okay? Because I get to keep all my guns, I get to buy more guns, but that's a total great answer to me. But I think we really need to look at this as an honest thing. And that's some comedian, I can't remember which one, made a good point of buying guns off the black market, even though it's possible, kind of takes a bit of finesse, okay? You can't just be any fucking idiot to go down. Do you think any of these kids could have gone down to the black market and fucking got a $30,000 assault rifle? Look at these fucking guys. Would it have been impossible? Yes. Not yes, but probably not. But every one of these motherfuckers could go to a gun store except for that one on the end. He was too young and buy a gun. I think the black market would have a pretty good idea to regulate themselves. Letting these crazy motherfuckers get a gun.
If they cost that, yeah. See.
Go ahead. We lost you, Puppet Master. Puppet Master.
Yeah.
You're just coming
Again.
back. I think we heard you through all that. I think he's gone.
Yeah, I think him and Cold Conscious are both gone.
Issue is, can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Well, now we can. Well, what do you guys think about this whole gun rights thing? I mean, you know, me and Puppet Master are pretty big proponents of guns. I mean, we both own them, love them, all that shit. Grew up with them. What do you guys think? I mean, can it be helped? Do you think it would help, or should we leave that up?
It won't help. When people want to find something illegal, they'll find something illegal to do. It won't help.
Yeah, it really won't. Doesn't matter.
Hey, you guys are
especially not here in Baltimore.
Because I mean, somebody posted a good thing where they show the cities who have had, you know, there's big laws against gun ownership, have a lot of problems with gun problems. Now, I don't think that that's completely honest, because usually those cities had huge gun problems in the beginning before they outlawed guns. So it wasn't like it was just a regular city, outlawed guns, and all of a sudden crime shot up. You know, they had huge gun problems before, and then got rid of it. And then you could also look up other cities that have like there's Phoenix, I think. Phoenix has a terrible crime problem there. Very few gun laws, still a terrible gun fucking problem there. Okay? And a lot of different cities. Chattanooga, where I came from, it was easy. It was a 4-hour class to go get your concealed weapon permit. Buying guns were fucking as easy as just freaking waiting them to do 15-minute background check on you at the store. You walked out of there with a gun in your fucking hands, okay? They have a terrible fucking crime problem right now. Their crime problem is worse than Denver, where I live, and Denver's a real city. Chattanooga has like 250,000 people. Denver has 4 million, and Chattanooga's crime problems are way fucking higher. There's a shooting there like every other fucking day, if not more. Okay, and they have no gun laws. You know, so that's not really honest fucking assessment by saying if you look at these states that enacted gun control laws and they have big crime problems. Was it a spike after the gun laws came out? I don't think so. It may have raised with the rest of the nations or dropped with the rest of the nation, but it wasn't a fucking big spike. And there's a whole big difference between deleting guns from an entire country and deleting them from one city where you can go a county over and buy a fucking gun. You know, when you have to leave the entire country to go buy a gun and then get it across the border where you're being fucking searched, that makes it a little more difficult to cross on a state fucking border or a county line or any shit like that. But again, I'm not a fucking expert on this. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but I would like some real non-biased experts to fucking dig into this and see if that could help. And if it can help, I'll give up my fucking guns. I'll fucking do the buyback program wherever they do. I would hate to, but I'll fucking do it. If that's what it takes, you know, maybe that's a second. We've already sacrificed our Fourth Amendment rights. We are allowing our government to fucking torture people. Our fucking government's invaded 2 countries over fucking, you know, all this shit. But this is the line we're gonna fucking draw, okay? No, this right here, this is the one we're gonna fucking draw.
I can't argue with that. I mean, I think Puppet Master said before we came on air, I mean, we're not gonna really disagree on this too much. I mean, I think we all agree it's just foolishness and something that needs to stop, but unfortunately, it's been going on for how many years? I don't see it stopping anytime soon. If anything, it's going to get worse. So,
yeah.
But I will say this. Sorry to cut you off. If we've seen anything from Baltimore, they don't want to go that far because the boys in the South will get 10 times crazier than that. So they don't want them in South Carolina to do that. They will tear South Carolina, North Carolina, and just the surrounding states down. They will burn the whole South down, so they better not mess with these boys.
Tell me if I feel bad about that, though, man. That's a bunch of states ain't nobody give a fuck about. I mean, I'm willing to guarantee South Carolina's a fucking, what do you call that? Welfare state. That's where a state that takes more money from the federal government than they give back. And even though it's a desperately right-wing state, I guarantee it's a fucking welfare state, because most right-wing or red states are. Let's see. Yep, right here, South Carolina's a welfare queen. Non-partisan tax formations. For every $1 South Carolina pays in federal taxes, they receive $1.35 back. So they get way more freaking tax income than they fucking pay into the system. So if we lost them, that fucking state would go bankrupt right away. These fuckers don't want us to see it right now. I guarantee it. But I guess we about wore this one out. What was the topic you had? I'm fucking too angry to stay on this one.
Well, no, it was I guess this is the Wild Pimp portion of the show. When I was at my job this happened a few months ago, and at this job there's only like 7 people that work in the office, including me. So it's pretty chill, and like there is a pecking order, but because everybody really has their own department, nobody really pulls rank because you don't have to. You do your job. It's all good, right? So this new person comes in, and so they think they need them. So they say, and like the first week that they're there, they say, I forgot what exactly they were asked to do, but they come out of their face and say, "Oh, that's not my job." Now this is the only job I've ever been at where I had not heard that. So like when this was said, like you should see like everybody in the office just stopped and had this awkward stare with each other because it was kind of like. It was kind of like that moment. Don't you know how sometimes you're at church and you're doing something wrong? Somebody says, "Well, Jesus is gonna come back and get you." You kind of look like, "Is that really true?" And then you either say whatever and you just move on. Well, it was like when she said, "That's not my job," everybody just stopped, and it was just awkward silence for like 30 seconds. And I was like, "Can she do that? Like, do we say that at this office?" Well, I'll be darned. 2 weeks later, she was out of the office. So so I guess you can't say that. But a question came to my mind. I was like, you know what? I think Alone in the Dark will like this. When is it a good time to say at your job, "Hey, that's not my job. I don't do that there"? When can you say that, and when can you not say that?
Jesus. I think there is a time when you can say that, because I've seen jobs that will like make you do way more than you are being paid for, and then expect you just to do it for your fucking regular income. Okay? Now, I think that happens a lot more rarely than people think. I just think if you're doing somebody above your job, then you should be paid more for it. Okay? Like, I remember one job, a fucking manager got fired. They put somebody else in there, like one of his freaking subordinates, as the manager. "Hey, you're going to be the manager, this and that." That guy went back like every 2 weeks. "Hey, so I've been doing this manager job for X amount of time now. Can you guys promote me?" "Well, we really can't afford to promote you right now." Well, you know what? If you can't afford to do business, then you guys need to go out of business. You can't just have people free, But I think there's a lot of times when people are ridiculous about it. Like, I remember one guy, I love this guy to death when we worked together, but his job was a rail bender at our job, which is like if you see those rails that are bent, like going around a spiral staircase, what that is a bunch of slits of wood. It's all cut into slits, and you put glue in between each slit and bend it around the staircase until it makes that shape and leave it there for a couple days to dry. Come back, sand off all the paint. It looks like one solid block of wood. Okay? That was that guy's job. He got paid, I think, $16, $17 an hour to do that job. Okay? This is like in the early 2000s, 2002, 2003. Well, every so often, those stairs don't happen all the time, so they wouldn't have a job for this guy. But what they do is, "Hey, we got a driving, stuff that needs to be driven around. You need to go drop off parts, pick up parts, blah, blah, blah. If you could do that, we'll just pay you for doing that." He would bitch about that shit all the time. And finally, one time I had to talk about it, I'm like, that the driving position just pays $10 an hour. They're paying you $16 an hour to do a $10 an hour job rather than sit at home and not get paid, and you bitch about it like it's nobody's business. What the fuck is your problem? So in my opinion, if you're not working, if you freaking aren't fucking currently doing your job, and they have something else for you to do and it's your working hours, you need to go fucking do it. Like, if it's paid the same or less than you, okay? Go fucking help them catch up with their job. But if they're having you do work that you should be paid for more, that's when you can complain. Other than that, Your 8 hours at work or however much you're working, that needs to be nonstop working. You can't just sit around and do nothing because something's not your job, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. I'm sure Cold Conscience might have a different. I don't think he thinks his job is his job to do.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, you're good now.
So, talking about people who say it's not my job, where I'm at and what I do, I work with a lot of civilian employees for the government.
Disgusting.
It sucks. I'm not one of them, but it sucks. And these motherfuckers, not my job all goddamn day.
Yeah, man.
And they will be nothing at all for an entire day. It's so bad we hired one guy, right, to deliver mail so that the military members didn't have to, right? So he gets there, his back gets hurt. He decides that the vehicle that they gave him to deliver mail hurts.
I kind of have a feeling where exactly you're going with this, and it's terrible.
He's cut out again?
I think so, yeah. This fucking bastard. He looks like he's got freaking mics in it right here. It's terrible. I've actually had that happen before, where somebody said that the car wasn't nice enough for them to drive around in. It's like, motherfucker, if you're not paying for it, what are you complaining about? You know, you got rented a car from me. Get the fuck to work. You know, it wasn't even a bad car. It was like a new Toyota Corolla, and this person was bitching about it. You know, that's fucking ridiculous. And I hate, like, when I was in the military, we had to work with those civilian contractors every so often. And like with my job, like if you're buying optics from somebody, like this was night vision equipment, we would go down and inspect them. Like if you're giving us 200, okay, it's my job to inspect, make sure they're in good working order, and then okay, this 200's mine. I'm out of here. You know. Make sure I was getting good stuff. Well, we went down one time and they came to say, hey, listen, I know you guys are here to pick out your stuff, but we really need to get all this stuff sorted out. We need to make sure all this stuff is good, blah, blah, blah. Can you guys help us out while you're here? You guys are supposed to spend the whole day here anyways? Like, yeah, that's fine. Well, as we're working on this, we're a bunch of Marines, you know, fucking ranging from, you know, pretty much Lance Corporal to Sergeant, this and that. I think I was a corporal at the time. And this one civilian contractor came over and was like bitching at us for not going fast enough. You know, it takes a little while for each unit to test it completely. And after like a minute, like at first I didn't realize, you know, I thought he was talking to some of his workers, but then he came over and said something to the group I was with. I was like, wait, hold on a second. Who the fuck are you right now? You know, who do you think you are coming over here talking to me? Well, I used to be a gunnery sergeant. I'm like, that sounds like you used to be somebody important. Right now, you're fucking nobody, dude. Fuck off. I'm doing you a favor here going and help out. If you want all of us to just quit and you can deal with this shit on your own like it's your fucking job, then we'll walk away. You don't come over here bitching at my Marines like they need to work faster for you. Are you writing their fucking checks? And so he ran and got some fucking, gunnery sergeant or something like that. And the guy came over and I explained to him, no, I'm not going to have my Marines bitched at by this fucking civilian. Tell him to fuck off. Tell him to come over here and be respectful, and then we'll talk about it. Otherwise, we got our own units to go home to. I got my shit. My shit's ready to go. I'll take mine. I'll sign for it. And I'll go. And this guy acted like I just fucking, broke his heart that I wasn't respecting that he used to be a fucking somebody. I don't care who you used to be. And it's like those civilian contractors get sold this thing. Yeah, it's going to be a slack job. You're going to be paid so much. That when it is that day that you got to work hard, they feel fucking morally offended that they have to bust their ass for a day. Like, fuck you, you're getting paid easily twice as much as these Marines are here, and you're going to come bitch at them when they're helping you out for that. Those guys are a bunch of fucking scum. I once had a bus driver try and pull rank on our guys. This guy, we were riding the bus, and we got out to do, hey, you guys need to get back. You need to watch your fucking mouth when you're talking to us. I used to be sergeant major. I don't care who you used to be. Right now, you're a fucking bus driver. Sit down and drive the bus. Like, what? Who the fuck do you think you are? I don't know, man. That shit just fucking wears me out, dude. Like there's some guys who are pretty good about it. You know, they're actually there. Hey, I want to help the military. I'm gonna go be a civilian contractor for the military. But both of those guys are nothing but fucking cocksuckers who think that the world's owed to them, man. Like it's fucking ridiculous. So does that answer your question?
I already knew the answer. I already knew the answer. It's one of those things where, coming from the restaurant business, anybody that says those words, you already knew they weren't going to make it. So it was very rare for me to ever actually hear that in the business, because usually the people that would be like, hey, I can't do that, or that's not my job. No lie, shifts would immediately be taken from them. Then their hours will be cut. And how you cut people in the restaurant business hours is, if they're scheduled to come in at 4, you say, oh yeah, we're so overstaffed. You just come in from 4 to 5. An hour? I can't make any money in an hour. So that they eventually quit themselves. So that way you don't have to fire them and give them any pay. They already had their welcome papers as it is. So I'm not used to hearing it, but now that I've actually worked at other jobs, like in the offices and things of that nature, I'm hearing that more and more, and I'm kind of like, and I find it funny how people in the quote unquote real world say that the restaurant business isn't a real job. But to me, when I get to the real world, the real jobs, you guys are lazier than the people who are in the restaurant business. And that's saying a lot, because everybody, I think, knows, and who watched Early Dare Disagree, knows how much I don't like the restaurant business, even though I will defend it because that's where I come from. You know? But at the end of the day, I do know there's some hard workers there. At the same time, as you saw in California, that's the reason I don't go out to restaurants, because I'm very anal about that. There is no splitting checks with me. There is no certain things that make more work on somebody. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I already knew the answer. I just found it to be funny, because it was the first time I heard it in this office, and you could tell it was the first time they heard it in the office too, because they were stunned. They were like, everybody just looked at each other. They were just so still, like no one could believe it. And I was like, well, you know. And mind you, one of the guys, he reminds me of you, to where like he says anything out of his mouth. He's the lead of the office technically, but he says anything out of his mouth. If it's political, he's gonna say it. If like when the Charleston thing happened, he immediately say, that idiot is gonna make it harder for more white people. What's going on? Like, he says it for everybody. So like, there's no filter on this guy, you know. But it's one of those things where it's just like, I know there's a time for it, because I've said it myself, but I've never said it in the restaurant business. I said it myself in at another job when I used to work for FedEx. I said, look here, unless you're gonna pay me this amount of money, because I was doing management jobs, but getting paid peasant wages. So I did say it then, and I ended up getting my raise. There's a time to say it, but I feel like most things, people don't know when to use it.
Yeah, I mean, people think that they're like, I don't know, allotted a time to have a break at work. If there's not an actual break time, or if it's not lunchtime, your ass needs to be working, you know? The only reason you should say it's not my job is if you literally don't have time to do that, otherwise your job doesn't get done, you know? Then I understand it. You know, I've seen people stuck in that predicament where everybody wants a fucking handout, but when it comes to their job, if they're back, then they just get yelled at about it, you know? But I don't know, man. At least 95% of the times I've heard somebody say something like that, it was them being a lazy fucking scumbag. And they just need to suck it the fuck up and get to work, you know?
I agree with that completely. That percentage and everything. Like I said, I've probably only heard it once, maybe twice, from somebody when they were in the right. But normally, as you said earlier, on one day where you have to actually do some work, for some reason you got a really bad wedgie up your butt, you can't pick it, so you're just like, I don't want to do anything. And so, you know, it's one of those things. And see, I thought this would be a perfect conversation for Cold Conscious, but we lost him and Puppet Master, so what do I know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it's just a ridiculous, like, it's kind of a problem, like Puppet Master was talking about, of people feeling like shit is owed to them when it really isn't, you know? Like, it's hard to staff a job where everything's perfect. I've had people bitch before over, like when I got them to work at my old job, we had to take them through a whole security fucking thing. It took all goddamn day. Okay, rare occasions it didn't, but we allotted an entire day for that because we knew that 9 times out of 10 we were gonna get fucked here, and we had to fucking spend a whole day doing it. So these guys did nothing but sit around in a nice air conditioning building while me and another dude ran around getting paper signed, getting the people we needed, getting badges, all this shit. And I would come back and these people would be bitching at me, hey man, what's going on here? I'm just sitting around doing nothing, this and that. And like at least once per these fucking runs, I would have to pull everybody, listen, all of you are being paid for sitting around doing nothing right now. This isn't, you're not doing me any charity fucking here, okay? I'm paying you to sit around and do nothing while I get this shit done. Why are you complaining? What the fuck could you possibly complain about in that situation? It's not like I'm overworking you. You're sitting here doing nothing. You're still complaining. It's almost like people want to find which, I mean, I guess it's kind of ridiculous for us to say, considering that's damn near what these shows are for. But it's like people want to find a reason to bitch, and they'll go through any fucking lengths to find that excuse.
Well, I think Dare Disagree early on was about us just bitching or whatever. I think both shows have turned more into making sense than anything else. Because at the end of the day, I've heard some podcasts with some whining and some moaning. We're not on that level. I mean, we do speak our minds, but I mean, no. But it's also, at the end of the day, this is also the thing, though. I think, with the exception of Cold Conscious, because he's still at his very first job, I think we all have enough experience to where we know, look here, if you want to get real money, if you really want to be successful, you have to work for it.
Yeah.
You just have to. I mean, like, I know that's not a popular thing to say, work for it instead of being a Vine sensation or a YouTube sensation. I know it's a thing that's in now, but really you have to work for it. And I know, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, they don't want it to be true,
No, don't tell me. Is that really what you have to do? Yeah, oh yeah, you do, you idiot. So I mean, no.
I can't find it right now, but I found a good picture that really shows what you're talking about. But I mean, and a lot of these YouTube sensations and stuff like that, those guys busted their ass to get where they were at. They did hundreds of videos before anybody ever fucking took notice. So,
yeah.
It's not like even those guys. I mean, yeah, there's people who just fall into fucking popularity and shit like that. But most people had to bust their ass to get there, So, I don't know. It's just ridiculous to me.
Oh, yeah. And the last thing I'll say about it is this is something I talked to Cold Conscious about the other day, because he called me and, he was mad about something. I don't know what he was mad about exactly. But I kind of went on this rant with him. So I was like, dude, I don't get why people can't see the bigger picture. Why are we thinking about tomorrow instead of thinking about 3 years from now, 5 years from now, and setting ourselves up? I just don't get it. How like there's always a bigger picture. At the end of the day, do you want to eat? Really, in a lot of ways, you have to think like a hustler. Yeah, it's cool to eat, filet mignon tomorrow, right? But if I can eat filet mignon for the rest of my life 5 years from now, I just have to work for it now, I think I'll take it the rest of my life instead of just enjoying it one day. But that's just me, though.
Well, the way to prove exactly what you're saying is that there is an option when you win the lottery just to take half the money and run. Like, that right there has to be the stupidest fucking decision anybody's ever made in their life. Who goes, oh, I won 60 million? Well, I'll give you 30 right now. Okay, I'll take the 30. You're going to lose $30 million and that's fucking totally okay? Like, that's ridiculous to me,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man, because what they do, if I remember right, they only got like the 30 million, or minus they're making money off the situation too. They put that in a fucking yielding interest account for you, and they just pay you payments until that thing runs out. So it actually builds interest over those, I think, 20 years it takes for freaking you to actually get your full money. And who the fuck would? And then the Lending Tree. Have you heard? Is it Lending Tree or something like that? Where they will buy. Let's say you get in a car accident and fucking you get like a $200,000 settlement, but they're only going to pay you so much per month.
Mm.
They'll come and just buy it off you for like $100,000. And people take that deal all the time. That's fucking incredible. If I had the money, I would buy all those people's shit. And just fuck yeah, I'm gonna make $100,000 in this situation. There's almost no fucking stock market or stock you could buy that will perform that well, other than buying shit from idiots. That's how ridiculous shit is.
Yeah, and you know what? It's one of those things where it's not. I knew this guy, right? He did things completely backwards. Like this guy, he graduated from high school. His parents said, "Hey, are you gonna go to the military?" He says, "No, no. Even though it's been a lifelong dream of mine, I think I'm just gonna go to college and find a career after that." So he has his parents pay for 4 years at the University of Maryland. He graduates with honors. You know, he gets his degree in like sociology or something like that, right? He graduates. He says, "This is what he says. I feel like my life is missing something. I'm going to join the military now." So he joins the military, right? So once he gets out the military, and one day we're all partying at this house in Maryland. I'll keep it's off Gimmick Street in Maryland. Let's say that. So we're partying, right? So he comes downstairs with his computer, with the laptop. He's like, "Hey man, I just made a great deal." We're all looking around, and by this time, I had stopped drinking, so I was like the only one sober. He puts the computer in front of me and says, "Hey, look what I just did." I said, "All right," so look at it. This is from a Nigerian prince. And this guy gave him, I think he had made about 40 G's out of the military. He had saved that much money up. He gave him the whole 40 G's because the guy said, "I can get you $1 million off of it." So this guy is college educated, went to the military, he went to war, came back, and he still somehow this happened to him. I don't know how. Don't ask me how. But he gave the guy, but here's the thing though, here's the funny thing about it. When he had put the computer down in front of me, he hit a button. And when I thought about it later on, I said, "Do you realize you hit the send button before you put the computer down in front of me?" So he did it like right in front of me. If I was paying attention 10 seconds before that and actually read the email, I could have prevented it.
But you just watched 40 grand just disappear.
Just go away. He could have gave it to me. But I'm just sitting here, I'm like, and the reason why I'm saying this story is because I'm like, hold on a second. That just shows you how dumb people are.
Yeah, man. That's it. We actually had an incident kind of like that at the Marine Corps. Me and Dave had this guy. The kid was a complete fucking retard. Okay, just dumb shit out of his mouth constantly. Okay, we called him Special K. That was his fucking nickname because his last name started with a K. We call him Special K because he's a fucking retard, man. Well, he comes to us, guys, my girlfriend, she actually had a girlfriend, which really shows you how desperate some bitches can get. This guy was short, ugly as fuck, and retarded. Still got some girl, okay? He comes to us with my girlfriend just won the lottery. We just won like fucking $10 million. And we're like, are you fucking kidding me? Out of all the people in the world, this stupid motherfucker won the lottery? There's nobody who needs that money less than this stupid son of a bitch, you know? But we're like, so for like 2 months or something goes by, we think that this guy's girlfriend won the fucking lottery. And finally he comes back to us and is like, so, yeah, I think something went wrong because, she's not getting the money. This and that. Like, well, explain to us what happened, what was happening. She had gotten one of those things, like went on a website and it said, "You're the millionth fucking person on this website. You just won $10 million. And luckily, they didn't have much money. She didn't have access to his account. She, of course, is a fucking idiot, considering who she was dating. So she only had like $400 or $500 to send out, but she sent what she had and nothing for it, of course. But this mother walked out for at least 2 months. He was to be a millionaire. It was brutal, man. Brutal.
Yeah, I mean, that's just nothing to say after that. This is just people just don't make any sense, and they think that, like I said, they think about today instead of thinking about the future.
Yeah, man. My thing today is like this fucking minute right now. I'm thinking like people doing homework for school, you know? You can do that shit the moment you get out of class and have it ready for a week. But everybody waits till like the hour before, you know? Like what the fuck? Think a little bit in advance and make your life so much fucking happier, you know? I'm not perfect about it either, but Jesus Christ, I'm not fucking that bad as people I see on a daily basis.
On a minute by minute basis.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to stop the show, man. My blood pressure's too high to continue this shit.
I mean, well, we lost everybody anyway, so.
Well, you got any party shots?
This is my 4th show this week. I'm exhausted from doing shows. So next week, y'all be lucky if y'all get 1 show out of me.
I'll transfer this over to. I'm pretty sure you guys put me on the YouTube account, right?
I have no clue. I've been using mine. I don't know if you're on mine. How do I put you on mine?
We'll talk about it after. I'm pretty sure it's easy. I mean, fucking Jonathan Esther pulled it off, so it can't be that fucking hard, you know?
Oh, yeah, if he did it, yeah.
But my parting shot is, like I said in the blog post, if you fucking think that the Confederate flag isn't racism, then you need that history lesson you're accusing everybody else of missing, okay? Because you're a stupid motherfucker. That's my parting shot for this fucking show. But anyways, we'll be back. When's you guys' next show? Maybe 2 weeks from now?
It's going to happen out. I'm sure sometime. I'm saying 2 weeks, but I'm pretty sure Cole Conscious is going to give me a call up and say, man, I need to rant about something. So it'll be sometime next week.
All right. And ours is on Wednesday. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. We're out of here.